Yes.
There's definitely
Everybody's
tension
racist.
between coloured and black communities.
What does racism mean?
It's a racist society, it's a racial society.
I think coloured people are racist, especially if we are looking at the broader picture of coloured people being in fact black people. So in fact it is an internalized racism.
In my family, we were always very big activists, ANC, UDF, and but when we sit around the table, my opa and my uncles will still say the K word, and they would still say, yeah, but they are getting all the work.
It's not something I really tolerate anymore, and it's something that I'm trying to educate my family about. And it's something that's really serious. I think there's so much that is unknown in coloured culture and that doesn't get unpacked.
Coloured people are a marginalized group in this country. And as coloured people, they face structural racism. Therefore, I don't think that coloured people can be racist. I do, however, think that coloured people are somewhat anti-black.
We've always been in the middle. We've always been talking about black issues and white issues, and coloured people are just lost somewhere in translation. When we speak to black people about that issue, they say things like, oh, but you are black like us, but we can't seem to find an identity within that blackness.
We internalize particular notions of coloredness, and we believe that colored is better than black, and not that colored is a kind of black, one of a multiple number of experiences of blackness and oppression.
That is the whole purpose of race. That was the purpose of apartheid. It is the purpose of capitalism. There has to, between the workers, there must be a fight, there must be a tension.
Prior to the arrival of Europeans, Khoi and, for example, the Amaxhosa people lived peacefully together. Yes, of course, there were skirmishes. No one's saying there weren't skirmishes. There were wars, but it wasn't to the point where we are going to wipe you out and, you won't have any land to live on, etc.
With regards to slavery, already the segregation between different colors of slaves and where different places where they came from, they were segregated according to descent. So that already started, the segregation already started before.
And so at some point along the line, coloured people were afforded particular privileges and rights that traditionally black South Africans didn't have.
So we tend to side with the fair skin than the darker skinned person, and that's just because of years of apartheid, I think.
But again, I also think coloured people who don't do any work to combat that perpetualization of racism, so aren't doing anti-racist work, are also complicit in perpetuating that racism, because it does exist within coloured communities.
And then you get institutionalized racism. That is actually a bigger problem, because institutionalized racism to me means that I can't move forward and my collective people cannot move forward purely because of the fact that I am seen as a coloured or I am seen as a black person.
We have media propagating the notion of black corruption. So in the minds of coloured people, it's a thing of we are suffering because of blacks. And then in the minds of black people, they think that coloured people are doing better than them. But it's the complete opposite. Both groups are suffering. Both groups are being marginalized at the hands of corporate corruption and at the hands of white supremacy in this country.
It's economic apartheid. It continues to this day.
When maybe you get in a bit too cheeky as a black or coloured worker, they know that they can source someone who's more desperate from Zimbabwe or across the borders. So there's xenophobia, there's all of that playing into the system, that the system relies on it. It relies on the fact that we hate each other, that we compete with each other, and that we know that as soon as that one goes, I have a chance.